All right, today we're going to be doing some work with ratios. I can use a ratio to describe the relationship between two quantities. So in this example, we're saying there's 15 laptops in a computer lab and there's 45 students. Write an expression that represents the relationship between the number of students, 15, to the number of computers, 45. So for every 15 students, there's 45 computers. You can also say for every 45 students or computers, there's 15 students. So that's how we would write how to compare them. And you can also say it's 45 to 15. You can write it like that. You can use the little colon, or you can use the word two. You can actually also show this as a fraction. So in this case, our fraction, we're going to divide it by a common factor, and we're going to get 3 to 1. So for every 3 students, there's 1 computer. That's a little bit more advanced. I'll show you that in a minute, how that works. Lots of different ways you can show it. How would your expression be different if you are comparing the number of computers to students? Then that would be, you would write it in the order that you're saying it in. So the number of computers would be 15, the number of students is 45. That's computers to students. If you're saying students to computers, you write it in the other direction. So make sure you understand what they want. Tom's Pet Service takes care of cats and dogs. Currently, there are more dogs than cats. Compare the number of cats to the number of dogs, then compare the number of cats to the total number of pets. So you have a couple different things going on. A ratio is a relationship for every X unit of one quantity, there are Y units of another quantity. It can be written in 3 ways. It can be written using that word to, quantity A compared to quantity B using 2. It can be written using the colon, and it also can be written as a fraction. Those are the 3 ways that you can write a ratio. So comparing the number of cats to dogs, we can see cats is 14, dogs is 17. So we can say 14 cats to 17 dogs. We can say 14 cats to 17 dogs, or we can say 14 cats for every 17 dogs. Now, when we want to figure out the total pets, then we're going to have to add those together. 17 plus 14 is 31. So now we're saying the cats is 14, the total is 31 for all pets. So our ratio changes a little bit. You have to be clear on what's being asked. And is the ratio of dogs to cats the same as the ratio of cats to dogs? So no. When comparing dogs to cats, the number of dogs is the first term. The number of cats is the second term. So they're written differently. So make sure you're putting them in the order that you want them written in. The fraction would be different. Some ratios compare a part to a part. How is that different from a fraction? A fraction always names a part of a whole or a part of a set. So for one, you could say a fraction names part of a whole, or part of a set. And ratios name part to part. Some ratios name part to part. In the example on the previous page, what is the ratio of the total animals to dogs? So instead of cats, we're going to do the dogs. So we know there's 31 animals altogether, and they want to know the total of animals to dogs. So we know we want animals to dogs. So we're going to have the total animals to the total dogs. We can write it 31:17, 31 to 17, or 31 over 17. Whatever's in this first position here is your numerator. Whatever's in the second position is your denominator. Fifth grade basketball team has 2 centers, 3 forwards, and 5 guards. So let's write a ratio from forwards to centers. So forwards is 3, that's first position. Centers is 2. So we can write 3 colon 2, 3 to 2, or 3 over 2. Guards to the total team. So for total team, we're going to have to add them all together. 2 plus 3 plus 5 is 10. So there's 5 guards to a total of 10 kids, 5 guards to a total of 10 kids, 5 guards to a total of 10 kids, and we can reduce that to say it is half. And then centers to guards. Centers, there's 2. Guards, there's 5. Centers, there's 2. Guards, the 5. And then remember, the first value is our numerator. The second value is our denominator. And as we move down, we're going to be taking a look at this chart here and filling in information as we go. So we've got the person's blood type is denoted with the letters A, B, and O, and the symbols plus and negative. The blood type A plus is read as A positive. The blood type A minus is read as A B, or B minus is read as B negative. And we're talking about blood types. So O positive owners to B positive donors. O positive donors to B positive donors. So we're going to say O. You can see the O is 90, O positive, and B positive 20. So we're going to say 90 to 20. And it says 3 different ways. We want 90 to 20 and 90 over 20. Remember, numerator, numerator. A negative donors to B positive donors. So now we're going to go A negative, 21. B positive was 20. And we write it 21 to 20. We write it 21 over 20, and so on. And we will review that in our group.